Okay, we're gonna try this again, and let's see what we come up with. All right. Alrighty, let us see. How is that? Can you hear me now? Welcome, everyone.
Everything seems to be working fine.
Okay, good. All right. Okay, so let's just wait for a minute and see if I can pick up any people that's out there. All right, 5 times 5. Hey, Sherry. So, yes, thank you for showing. Yes, it's been it's quite interesting. New technology. We've got something called a mini cam. So I'm going to just show you what that means. So here is where we're just showing the focus crystals, right? So then you won't see my face at this point, but I can go back and forth, and which is really nice because then I can show the purpose for us being here tonight is the Blue Chalcedony. It's really interesting. I learned how to say the crystal wrong, incorrectly, and so now I really have to check myself to say it correctly. So if I stumble over it, bear with me and just let me get it out of my mouth, and I will correct myself. But it's Chalcedony, which is not how I learned how to say it. So I hope everyone is good out there in Facebook land. You can see my hand a little bit through the camera. I'm going to go ahead and just cut over to me, and let's see if we can say hello to everyone. And then I will just do this. So welcome. So I hope that y'all are doing well tonight. What I will end up doing is going back and forth between the shots just so that I can okay, that's perfect. Yeah, it's funny how your brain remembers something, Sherry, and then it's so difficult to unlearn that. So I appreciate, yeah, I wouldn't take it as anyone judging me here. I mean, I've encountered nothing but good people on this show. Hey Maribel, how you doing? How you doing? So happy that you're here. Yes, thank you so much for joining. So today is Wednesday, and we're going to start trying something new on our shows. And it's going to be a Wednesday night event until we figure out it's not going to work for us. So we're pretty flexible in that. But what I wanted to do was take time to focus on one specific crystal. And we started doing that with our crystal conversations. And then that show actually morphed off into other topics, which I loved. I actually absolutely loved being able to explore other topics with people. Unfortunately, I'm kind of limited on my time, my available time. So I had to sacrifice my crystal conversations on Tuesdays because I really wanted to take this approach. So not to say that we won't go back to what we were doing on Tuesdays, and we were building grids, we were focusing on the full moon and things like that. But I really felt like it was a good opportunity for me to focus on one unique crystal. And I've brought into our inventory a few select pieces. This is Blue Chalcedony, which I'm doing tonight's show on. And it's one of those that I actually, Sherry, you may remember this because I used it during our crystal reading. So Blue Chalcedony to me is an amazing stone to work extremely well with messages, and it's messages from the spirit realm. And I felt like it was important enough for me to bring an additional amount in other than my personal pieces to offer to everyone. But I wanted to take the time to go over why I feel like it's important enough to bring into your own personal collection. So first of all, what's interesting about this crystal is, and I'm just going to go ahead and keep it here on the table right now, the camera. What's to me is important about this is that one, it is it's pretty common. It's not a rare stone, so we can get this from many places. It originates right now from Turkey, and that's where you'll find most of the stones that you that are being brought into the U.S. and they're going to originate from Turkey. But what I love about the Blue Chalcedony is that it will help us not just communicate with spirit, but also it's going to help release any emotions that you may have had in the past. It's going to bring it to the surface. It's one of those crystals that works really well with dislodging any stagnant energies, and it kind of helps it float. So look at it as like almost like a life preserver in a lot of ways, but it's not just saving your life. It's actually removing and dislodging those memories that you've had in the past that have actually held you down, and it's bringing it to the surface. So think about that. So it's something that we've actually held on to for a long time, and now we're just avoiding it. But Blue Chalcedony is going to, if you meditate with it, it's going to help you bring that emotion, those memories to the surface, and then you end up dealing with it. Right? So that's something that's, if you're like me, it's like if you put it to the back of your mind, forget about it, ignore it, it doesn't exist. But as you know, guys, it's impossible to do that. It affects our beings today, how we treat people, how we react to certain situations, how we actually treat ourselves, the expectations we have on others, the expectations we have on ourselves. So Blue Chalcedony is a perfect stone to bring those forgotten memories to the surface. It also, what I found was really interesting, is that I was attracted to the Blue Chalcedony because its purpose of communication. So when I do a crystal reading for clients, I actually place the Blue Chalcedony near the ears of the client. I want the Blue Chalcedony to communicate to the client and retrieve the messages that the client's experiencing from spirit. So it's almost like a bridge between the client and spirit, and then of course the crystal to myself. So it's a two-way communicator in a lot of ways. So when it was when I first found that unique aspect of the crystal, I felt like, okay, so that it's a perfect communicator. So where else do we fail in communication? It's not just with spirit, but it's with other people, right? So the miscommunication, I think, is one of the biggest detriments to our society. It's the intention, so when you have good intentions of working with people, it actually helps to forge a stronger relationship. But misinformation or miscommunications, that's where there's falling out, people get upset, we lose really strong relationships, and it all boils down to miscommunications. So Blue Chalcedony is going to help you to strengthen a relationship. It also is like a brotherhood or sisterhood effect. So it encourages goodwill and benevolence. So it actually will alleviate any hostilities you might have to another. So it's an amazing stone for that. It'll also allow you to be more generous with your thoughts and your feelings, and just the way that you deal with others, which that's a perfect crystal in that regard. And as far as like the chakras go, I'm just going to go ahead and change our view here, so that you can see me a little bit. When you look at the Blue Chalcedony, you immediately think of the throat, but it also helps with the third eye. It's an amazing crystal for, you know, can you imagine just being on your throat chakra right here? And it also opens up your heart. So if you're generous to others, then, you know, you of course have to open up your heart chakra for that. Otherwise, I mean, what's the point? So the fact is that you're working so closely with the heart chakra that you try to really, really embrace all the aspects of, just going to try and show you this, the crystal itself. So this is, can you see just how beautiful the color is? It's like it's definitely has the water element, which it is one of the stronger traits of Blue Chalcedony. If you ever are working with any of the elements, water is one that Blue Chalcedony is really prominent with. So the pieces that I'm showing right now, if you are interested in bringing any of these into your collection, these pieces, I have them numbered. They're like part numbers. These are just $10 each. So they're pretty reasonable, which means that, you know, they're affordable, and there's something that you can, that one's kind of slippery. You know, you can bring it into your collection. And I have to admit here, I did take one out of the box when I first opened it. So I did get first pick. That is one of the benefits, I think, of being a crystal dealer. So there was some that I have for use for my clients, and I actually purchased those outside of this batch here. So I brought those on just for one of my healing tools, but then I ordered some for times like tonight. And when I opened the box, I took one for me. Yeah, I know, but that just tells you how special I think they are. So they are just amazing pieces. And I also have towers in. So this one is tower 1, if anyone's interested. This is tower number 1. And then this is tower number 2, which has, you know, the same beautiful hue. That's tower number 2. And the towers are $28 each. This is tower number 3. So the crystals themselves, they're just amazing pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the shot of the crystals. And B9 sold. Yes, ma'am. I will get that off for you right now. Let me find, where did I put B9? Where is B9? Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's a beautiful, I couldn't see it. Sorry, Maribel. That is a really nice piece. We'll write this. So $10 a piece, guys. It's a really, I'm trying to bring in some affordable pieces for everyone. Just because I'm really encouraged by the fact that we have such cool pieces out there for us to use and bring into our our collection, but also to be able to use them in a way that benefits us. Linda's got B4. Thank you, Linda. And B5 is sold for, yes. Oh my gosh, Sherry, I love that piece too. I'm so glad you got that. You know, the crystals themselves, you know, they're tools. I mean, the ones that are there for us to utilize. They're just waiting. Oh, Maribel, I'm sorry, the one beside it. So I moved them around, hun. So let me, what am I going to do, Maribel, is I'm going to switch back over, hun. Okay. So, Maribel, this one is B7. That's B7. And then this one is B1. So let me know, Maribel, which one of those, if any. Hopefully I didn't actually even put them in order of the part number, so which is my bad. B1. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, Maribel, you're gonna love that. The color variation on that one, it has it's almost like there's a segregation of the color. When you see it, you'll exactly understand what I'm trying to express here. That it's almost like it's two crystals in one. How the crystals fade. Sam, I'm so happy that you're here. Sam, I'll have to tell you that I wanted to offer Blue Chalcedony for a selfish purpose, actually. I started using it when I designed my crystal reading class or service that I'm offering. It's an amazing crystal to help communicate. I keep saying to communicate with spirit in a way that it translates the messages. So it's only, I consider it to be a translator in its highest sense. So when I use it, I actually place the crystal at the ear. So it goes directly at the chakra, the energy center of the ear, and it vibrates in a manner that it'll relate directly to the messages that you receive from spirit. And all of us might know this, but spirit doesn't always speak to us in the English language or in the way that words are formed. So sometimes what we're hearing isn't clear, and we don't really understand what they're saying. It's actually a quartz, Sam. Yeah, so it's a member of the quartz family, and you actually will see it related to things such as like bloodstone or carnelian. But it's, of course, it's not clear. It's more on the opaque side. And actually, they have a the blue hue is it occurs because the Tyndall effect. And if you read upon that, it's actually how the light particles are bouncing off the actual the aspect of the crystal itself, the crystalline structure. But it's a silicate, and that in itself is amazing. It's actually pretty hard. I didn't realize by looking at it, it's actually a harder stone. It's actually on the Mohs scale of 7, so it's pretty durable. What I also wanted to mention, and which I talked about earlier, is that it's the element for the water. So it's really appropriate if you're doing any work with the water element. I mean, you can also see the symbolism, right? So it's really hard to not even, dispute that. I know, Sam. There's a lady. I'm gonna put her magic in. I think it's in living room. Living room. That is the name. I buy my my mats from Etsy. I don't know where her tag's at, but it's called Magic in Living Room. I've been buying from her for a while. I actually have a I have the Capricorn constellation on my tarot desk, and it's in the shape of a triskel. So I actually got her to make me that. So it's a runner, I guess you would consider it. But ever since ever since I found that, I've been purchasing her altar placemats, I guess you could call it. It's their cloths that they're not inexpensive. I think she does all the work herself. It's cotton. She does some satin, but it's definitely something that I feel like it's a value to me. I have several different ones. I think I have like 8 now. So every time I'm in the need for one, I go to her Etsy site. So what I'm going to do then, Linda, is I'm going to switch over and I'm going to pick up some more so that I can give you the part number. And these are only $10 each, guys. So they are really reasonable. So Linda, this is B3. And then this one is B8. And I'm just going to go through the rest of them. This is B10. And these are $10 each. And then this one is B2. And then this one is B6. And then the last one in the middle, it's a cool shape. It's B7. So that's what we have left of the individual pieces. Sold 6. Let's see, B6. You got it, hon. Thank you very much. Yeah, y'all are gonna like these. Hey, Brenda. How you doing? B10 sold for Brenda. Yeah, you're gonna... I would just offer y'all to sit with the crystal, meditate with it for sure. I would try your very best to, first of all, don't force any expectation. That's really important. And then secondly, whatever, when you're meditating, thoughts will come, you'll start thinking about things, and then before you know it, you're down a rabbit hole. With Blue Chalcedony, that's actually its purpose. It's going to unsurface and dislodge a lot of memories and feelings and emotions that you tried to suppress. So this is the moment where you're going to take the blue chalcedony and you're going to sit quietly with it. And whatever comes up, guys, almost use it like as a word play. Whatever words come to mind, write it down. And you might have an epiphany, and it's like, oh, I know exactly what this means. And if that's the case, perfect. But if you don't, and it throws out this strange word, I mean, all of a sudden you think like, I don't know, like the word spinach, you know, and all of a sudden you get this somebody forced you to eat spinach when you were 4, you know what I mean? And that's not, it wasn't the taste of the spinach, it was the fact that you were forced to do something against your will, you know. So look at it like that. So don't discount anything that you're feeling, anything that you're thinking. Write it down. I would suggest you have like a journal beside you, and just document, you know, whatever those feelings might be, and then start to revisit that emotion, that thought, that feeling. Maybe it's a smell, maybe it's a taste, and try and uncover, why are you having these feelings? Is it time to release them? You know, and then maybe you can do some meditation, some prayers on the release of that emotion. Maybe you need to do a spell, you know, and to break free of that tie, that prison. But what blue chalcedony will do is it's going to get in there, guys, and it's going to nudge you, and it's going to dislodge a lot of things that you didn't even know you had. So don't be surprised. Absolutely don't be surprised. And I think that that's let me just move over here. I think that that's one of its key components, is that it actually knows exactly. Hey, Renisha. Oh my gosh. Y'all, Renisha is an amazing person. I have to just brag about you here for a minute, girl. She is a small business owner, female, young, beautiful, smart, started her business with nothing, and now she is a go-getter. So if y'all, Renisha, make sure you plug yourself here, hun. She's an amazing person, so she has some apparel that you might be interested in. Oh wow. So Sam, I've never had experienced that before. A ghost box to hear what words spirit says near a crystal. Yeah, I can imagine that the spirits that we have near us, I would expect them to do whatever they can to try and communicate with us. And so if they were to use crystals as a means of communication, yes, okay, there you go. Thank you, hun. Yep. So Renisha, Gold Digger Boutique, it's pretty with goals. Not a gold digger, but a gold digger. I love that. She's amazing. I've actually bought some items for my granddaughter and my grandniece. I would consider her to be my grandniece. So it's really cool. Yeah, so y'all go check out Renisha's website. But thank you, Renisha, for joining us. Yeah, hon. So these crystals are just amazing. So if y'all are in the mindset to do some work on uncovering why you have some emotions that are, embedded within us, and maybe you're suppressing them, then I think blue chalcedony would be very helpful for you. Pretty with goals, right? GOALS, not gold. So, oh, Pocahontas, oh my gosh. Judith, welcome, hun. So I was just showing off some of our crystals, so let me just change. You ready to do some work? I know, it's you have to work every day, Renisha. Every day we have to do work on ourselves, because I'm telling you, we can backslide so quickly. Humans, you every day you wake up, you have to say that I'm going to be a better person today than I was yesterday. Because if you don't, you backslide. It's just our nature, I think. It's just so easy to become complacent and just not to really focus on positive work. And every time you surround yourself with beautiful people. What I was talking about, Judith, I'm talking about Blue Chalcedony. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. It might make some better sense here. So this is one of the stones. It's called Blue Chalcedony. Excuse me. These little guys are $10 each. And the crystals themselves, that was B2 was the part number. And then this is B3. The crystals themselves are very useful. They help with working with other people. They actually encourage the an idea, a frame mind of being brotherly love, sisterly love. You know, sometimes we just have expectations of people that they just won't ever meet. And, you know, sometimes you have to draw the line. Absolutely. But sometimes people just aren't like us. You know, they just aren't. And you just may never meet somebody that reaches that expectation. But it could be your mom, right? And so you have to, and I'm just saying that, so we'll just think about this. So my mom's not on Facebook, so this will not get out to her, which I'm happy about that. I love my mom. And I think that she's done her very best for me. And so you'll encounter people that you love and you know that they've done their very best for you. But they will never, ever reach that level of where you're at. They just, we're on a separate journey. And we're different people. So I think what Blue Chalcedony will do for us is you'll be more generous. You'll be more benevolent. You'll be more accepting of their faults. Now, never, ever accept it if it's detrimental to you. Never would I ever entertain that. But if it's just irritating, we have friends and family that are like that, don't we? I do. I hope that you are. I hope you do too, because I hope that I'm not the only one like that. But Blue Chalcedony, I think, is going to allow it to be okay. You know, you're just going to say, you know, what we say here in the South is bless her heart. You know, you know what I'm talking about, Renisha. Right? Bless their heart. You just kind of give it, like a little bit. It's daily work. Oh, Renisha's going to take B3. You got it, hon. Thank you. It could be your son. Absolutely, Linda. Could be your brother. I have several brothers. I have 4, so none of them are going to know which one I'm talking about. But it's absolutely true. It could be your brother. But you know, if it's toxic, then it doesn't matter if they're blood or not. But if they're just irritating, you know, I mean, and they're just not. If you just can't see their approach, then, you know, sometimes you just have to say, you know, guy, I love you, and you're not going to drive me crazy on this one. We'll just let it be like that, because otherwise you wouldn't have anybody in your life. You just have to be a little bit more accommodating, right? You need a calming crystal. Yeah, I think Blue Chalcedony is actually a really calming stone, Judith. One, it is directly related to the water element. So, which is a very important aspect for crystals. Okay, so Linda, um, and that's exactly one of the points that I was hoping y'all would get from this show is that Blue Chalcedony, and I'm going to go back to a closer look for the crystals here that we have left. So Blue Chalcedony, I'm just going to try and get the part numbers if I can, is it's an important crystal to have in your arsenal because it does help you be calm when you're dealing with people. It's one of those that when you are trying to communicate to others, sometimes they just don't get you. I mean, I can see it on people's faces when I'm talking to them about certain topics. They just don't understand where I'm coming from. So I think that the Blue Chalcedony is perfect to help, awaken them a little bit so that they're open to having a conversation like that. So, and it keeps you calm because you're not trying to force the topic on them. It's just like, okay, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm feeling. This is my approach. This is where I'm coming from. I hope that you understand. But if you don't, that's okay. Because I'm not going to stop dealing with you because you are my friend, my family. It's like, once again, let's say this, as long as it's not toxic, we're okay. But I think the stone itself is really important to help us get beyond that. Oh, yes, thank you, Maribel. The small ones, yes, that's exactly true. They are $10 each. The towers are 28. Yeah. Thank you so much for telling her that, hon, because when I'm transferring back and forth from the Minicam, I can't see the comments. So, yeah, but that's exactly true. So the smaller ones are 10. The towers are 28. I'm going to try and bring them just a little bit closer. Can you see that, or is that just making it worse? There we go. Yep. So this is 1, 2, and then 3. Perfect, Michelle. Just let me know which one you want. This is Tower 1 for 28, Tower 2 for 28, or 3 for 28. Oh. Okay, so then, Michelle, I'm going to have to say 2, and I'm going to show you why. Okay. All right, so here's Tower 2. So the very tip of this tower, Michelle, it's almost like it has a phantom inside of it. So to me, this is a perfect crystal to uncover childhood memories. So there's a little spirit, I'm going to say, that is just waiting underneath the surface. So that's why I would say tower number 2 is good for you. Yeah, perfect one, actually. So let me just set this here. Yeah. Did you see it? Okay, yeah. So it was just like, and Michelle, what's interesting even more is that you can only see it when you put light behind it. So it's not, it's hidden. It's a deeper wound, I would say, Michelle. So if you do some inner workings, make sure that you don't discount the timeline. So it might take you back, quite far in the distant past. I'm sorry. So don't be surprised at what you see. And Sarah, did you want one of the $10 pieces or a tower, hun? So now we have tower 1 and tower 3 left. If you like, I can put one up closer for you to see. Not a problem with that at all. Ooh, Sam. My gosh. Okay. A $10. Michelle. All right, so then you are definitely going to be working with this piece. Yeah. It's amazing. It's just waiting to help you out there. And when you find out what messages and what memories you're bringing forward, I would love to hear your experiences. Yeah, and you can private message me, of course. It doesn't have to be public at all. But I'm always so impressed when the crystals are able to pull out that type of emotion, and when they're able to present to us, reality that we've suppressed, or maybe we're not even contemplating. Sarah, you're going to let me pull some up for you, hon. Let me get closer to you. Okay, so Sarah, this is B2. So these are the $10 pieces, Sarah. That's B2. And then this one is B7. And Sam, as I'm thinking of it, I will try to come up with a vendor that does crescent moons. And then this guy is B8. And this is for Sarah. And Sarah, they're all unique, hon. So it's definitely going to be a matter of preference. So just let me know what you think. Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much, Michelle. Yeah, I think it's fascinating. The more I work with crystals, oh my gosh, why did I not know that? Michelle, hold on. Let me see. This is for, I'm going to show this right now to Sarah. Sarah, can you see that? Can you see the etchings there? Right there in this center here. So, okay, I'm going to tell you what I see. All right. Do you see the mermaid? I need to get like a pencil or something. Hold on. Right there. Right there. Okay. Can you see that mermaid? Isn't that cool? Sarah, that's such an amazing piece. I'm so happy you got that. You're gonna love it. So, I mean, it's the water element, so that's one thing that this crystal is perfect for. But yeah, I know. So just think about the symbology of a mermaid. It's mythical, right? I think all cultures have a version of the mermaid. We still believe it's possible, right? I mean, they put movies out, Disney, right? But it's the fact is that you can enter two worlds. You're in the water element and the earth element. And so I think that that's in itself is something that you should explore. It's really cool. I'm glad you saw that piece. Pisces. Okay. There you go. Yeah, so I think that that's perfect for you then. I'm so happy. See, I think that the crystals go to the right. Ah, sirens, exactly. I'm not sure that they were always the nicest sirens, but they definitely were able to control a man in a way that they weren't they weren't necessarily able to without the call of the siren. Some of them were not. In some of the mythology that I've read, they were kind of fierce. But I think that the version of the mermaid that I would entertain is in control. Oh, I didn't know they control time. Well, that kind of makes sense. They kind of freeze time, right, to where you're no longer present. Makes sense. Mm-hmm. So, well, let's see here. What time is it? Oh my gosh, guys, I have taken up a lot more of your time than I expected. Well, I am so happy that y'all were able to join me today. I'm going to come back over here just for a second and cut over here. I'm going to move Sarah's off there. So I'm really happy that y'all were able to join me tonight, because I thought it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed sharing with you some of the information that I've been able to get from the Blue Chalcedony. Thank you, Sam. Yeah, and I really enjoy the fact that y'all had time to join me and share your ideas. Like Sam, I mean, with the blue crescent moon, and the fact is that Sarah relates to this because she's a Pisces. And, you know, that Michelle is doing past life regressions, and how the crystal that she chose has the inner child, has a phantom, and I think it's deeply embedded in emotional past that needs to be released. And fact is that Linda picked out a crystal that she's going to use to help communicate with her son, which is, you know, when you're polar opposites, sometimes we need that. We need to have a common understanding. And I'm so happy that Blue Chalcedony can, you know, help y'all with that, because they're here. I mean, they are exactly what we're looking for. Sometimes we overlook them. Sometimes we think that it's, you know, has to be a big, bright, beautiful, huge crystal, but it doesn't always need to be that way. And I'm really happy that we took the time today to talk about this. Yeah, everyone got the crystal that they needed, and I really am so happy about that. So I really appreciate y'all coming on tonight and joining with me on this conversation. And what I'll do is, I may not do it tonight, but just bear with me. I'll get everyone invoice for the crystals that you picked out probably tomorrow. I'll contact you individually, and I'll see if you want shipping or not. We keep open boxes here in Triskel Odyssey, so we can certainly add to your open box, or we can ship it out, whatever you're needing. Absolutely, it's no issue with me in any way. So, yes, Maribel. And of course, I mean, your support is something I really, oh my gosh, this guy is just really, he's flashing at me. I just have to not look at him. So Maribel, he distracted me completely. I really appreciate you joining and supporting this topic that we're trying to present, and the platform. And I don't know how common it is, but I felt like it was really something that people would enjoy and get some. Oh, Sam. Yeah, so and that people would get some benefit from. So yeah, we had some purple aragonites on the other day, and so we didn't do a focus on that. So I do plan on doing that. So Sam, you'll have to join when we do the purple aragonite and give us your experiences with it. I don't know if it'll be next week or not. I was actually planning on doing pyrite suns. I had to think about it. So there's so many different crystals that I have set aside specifically for shows like tonight. So purple aragonite is definitely one of them. But I hope that y'all can join me again, and definitely just lend me your support. You don't have to purchase if you show up, guys. It's not a necessity. Of course, if the crystal's meant for you, then it's going to speak to you loudly. But if it's not, just share your experiences and your camaraderie. That's enough. I mean, I really appreciate it very much. So thank you so much for, again, coming with me tonight. And we hope to see you again soon. And blessings to everyone. And I hope that you have a really, really good night. Thank you again. Good night, y'all.